You walk into a room, and someone who's usually talkative suddenly goes quiet. They avoid eye contact. They agree with everything you say, but something feels off. You might think they don't like you, but here's the twist. They're not avoiding you because they dislike you. They're intimidated by you. And most people who intimidate others, they have no idea they're doing it. Today, we're breaking down 7 psychological signs that someone is secretly intimidated by you and why this happens more often than you think. Before we dive in, understand this. Intimidation isn't always about being loud, aggressive, or physically imposing. In fact, the most intimidating people are often the quietest ones in the room. It's about presence, competence, and an energy that makes others feel like they need to prove themselves around you. Let's get into the signs. The first sign someone is intimidated by you is that they suddenly become too confident around you, but it feels forced. Here's what this looks like. They talk louder than usual. They brag about achievements you didn't ask about. They name-drop people they know or things they've accomplished. They laugh too hard at their own jokes. It's performative. Why does this happen? When someone feels threatened by your presence, their ego kicks into defense mode. Instead of staying calm, they overcompensate. Psychologically, this is called ego-protective behavior. They're trying to convince themselves, not you, that they're on your level. The giveaway? Their confidence disappears the moment you're not around. If someone acts like they're running the show when you're there, but relaxes into their normal self when you leave, that's not genuine confidence. That's intimidation disguised as bravado. Pay attention to the shift in energy. Real confidence doesn't need an audience. Eye contact reveals everything. And when someone is intimidated by you, their eyes will betray them in one of 2 ways. Option 1, they avoid eye contact completely. They glance away when you speak. They look at their phone, the floor, or literally anywhere but at you. This is classic submissive behavior. In psychology, this is called gaze aversion. It signals discomfort and a subconscious desire to shrink in your presence. Option 2, they stare too intensely, almost like they're trying to challenge you. But here's the difference. It's not relaxed. Their jaw is tight. Their blink rate might increase. They're trying to assert dominance, but their body is betraying their nerves. Both extremes mean the same thing. They're hyper-aware of you. People who are comfortable around you maintain natural, easy eye contact. They're not trying to avoid you or prove anything. They just exist around you without tension. If someone's eye contact feels off, either too little or too much, it's a sign they're managing their discomfort around you. This one is subtle, but once you notice it, you'll see it everywhere. Someone intimidated by you will agree with your opinions, even if they clearly have a different view. You'll say something, and they'll nod immediately. Yeah, totally, I was just thinking that. But their tone lacks conviction. Their body language says otherwise. Why? Because disagreeing with you feels risky to them. On a subconscious level, they believe that challenging your perspective might make them look foolish or expose their own insecurity. So they take the safer route. Agreement. This is backed by research in social psychology. Studies show that people in lower status positions, or those who perceive themselves that way, are more likely to conform to the opinions of those they view as more competent or powerful. Here's the irony. You probably want people to disagree with you. Real conversations require pushback, but someone who's intimidated won't give you that. They'll smile, nod, and agree, while quietly feeling inadequate. If you notice someone never challenges you, never offers a different perspective, and always seems to echo your thoughts, it's not respect, it's intimidation. Body language doesn't lie. And when someone is intimidated, their body will physically create distance between you, even if they're standing right next to you. Watch for these cues: crossed arms or legs, a protective barrier, turning their torso slightly away from you, a subconscious retreat, touching their neck, face, or hair, self-soothing gestures, taking a step back when you move closer, sitting rigidly instead of relaxing into their chair. All of these are signs of psychological discomfort. In body language research, these are called barrier behaviors. The person is literally trying to shield themselves from the emotional weight of your presence. Compare this to how they act around others. If they're relaxed, open, and animated with everyone else, but closed off with you, that's the tell. It's not about you being unfriendly, it's about them feeling like they can't measure up. Just like with eye contact, speech patterns go to extremes when someone is intimidated. Some people go silent. They become passive observers. They listen, but rarely contribute. Even when asked a direct question, their answers are short, clipped, safe. They don't want to say the wrong thing, so they say as little as possible. Others do the opposite. They talk too much. They ramble. They over-explain. They fill every silence with words because silence around you feels unbearable. This is nervous energy spilling out verbally. Both responses stem from the same root, the fear of being judged by you. Whether they shut down or talk nonstop, they're not comfortable. They're in performance mode, trying to manage how you perceive them. People who are at ease with you, their conversation flows naturally. There's no pressure, no overthinking. If someone's speech pattern shifts dramatically when you're around, intimidation is likely the reason. This one is big. Someone who's intimidated by you will subtly, or not so subtly, fish for your validation. They'll ask questions like, "What do you think about this? Does this make sense? Do you think I did okay?" They'll glance at you after making a joke to see if you laughed. They'll check your reaction when they share an idea. They need to know they passed your invisible test. Why? Because in their mind, your opinion carries more weight than others. They've placed you on a pedestal, whether you asked for it or not. Your approval feels like proof that they're worthy. This is rooted in what psychologists call social comparison theory. People measure their own value by comparing themselves to others. If they see you as more successful, intelligent, or capable, they'll unconsciously seek your approval to validate their own worth. The problem is, this dynamic isn't healthy for either of you. It puts pressure on you to constantly affirm them, and it keeps them stuck in a one-down position. Real relationships are built on mutual respect, not hierarchies. The final sign is one of the most revealing. They get defensive even when you're not attacking them. You'll offer constructive feedback, and they'll react like you criticize their entire existence. You'll ask a simple question, and they'll hear it as an accusation. They'll justify decisions you weren't even questioning. This is classic projection. They're so worried about how you perceive them that they interpret neutral interactions as threats. Their defensiveness isn't about what you said, it's about what they think you think of them. In psychology, this is tied to self-protective attribution. When people feel insecure around someone, they become hypersensitive to anything that could confirm their fears of inadequacy. So they defend themselves preemptively, even when no attack is coming. If someone consistently puts up walls around you, takes things personally, or seems to be in a constant state of self-defense, it's not because you're difficult, it's because they're intimidated. Here's the truth. Being intimidating isn't a bad thing. It often means you carry yourself with confidence, competence, and clarity. You don't shrink to make others comfortable. You don't dim your light to match the room. But it's important to understand the difference between respect and intimidation. Respect is mutual. Intimidation creates distance. If you recognize these signs and how people treat you, you have two choices. You can soften your presence to make others comfortable, or you can stay authentic and attract people who aren't afraid to stand next to you as equals. The right people won't be intimidated by your strength. They'll be inspired by it. If this video resonated with you, hit that like button, subscribe for more psychology insights that help you understand the hidden dynamics in your relationships, and drop a comment. Have you ever realized someone was intimidated by you? How did you handle it? Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.